Welcome back to the VybeShift podcast. This is episode 1 of our arc, The One Who Stayed. And today we begin with something honest, staying when you want to run. Not metaphorically, physiologically. You know the feeling. Your chest tightens, your thoughts speed up, your nervous system says, exit now. It may happen in conversation, it may happen in conflict, it may happen when intimacy disappears, it may happen when fear whispers, you're not safe here. Most people believe growth is about pushing forward, but I'm beginning to see something different. Growth is often about not fleeing. There's a moment, a very small moment, between stimulus and response, and in that moment lives sovereignty. The one who stayed is born in that space, not because it feels good, not because it feels brave, but because it feels true. Let's be clear, there's a difference between staying in harm and staying in awareness. We're not talking about tolerating abuse. We're not talking about abandoning boundaries. We're not talking about suppressing instinct. We are talking about staying present with your internal experience long enough to understand it. When fear surges through your body, do you immediately believe the story attached to it, or do you pause and say, interesting, something in me is activated? That pause is everything, because most running is not physical, it's emotional. We change the subject, we harden our tone, we detach our warmth, we scroll, we drink, we distract, we analyze, we justify. All subtle forms of leaving. Leaving the moment, leaving the body, leaving ourselves. But what happens when you don't? What happens when instead of running, you sit, you breathe? You feel the heat in your chest, you feel the swirl in your stomach, you feel the story forming in your mind, and you say, I'm not leaving. Something remarkable begins to occur. The intensity peaks, then shifts, then softens, and underneath it, there is usually something far more vulnerable than fear. There is a tenderness, there is longing, there is grief, there is the desire to be seen. Running protects the ego, staying strengthens the self. I've noticed in my own life that the moments I most wanted to flee, those were the portals. The conversation I didn't want to have, the emotion I didn't want to feel, the truth I didn't want to admit. And yet, when I stayed, not aggressively, not defensively, but curiously, the entire landscape changed. Fear is loud, truth is steady, and if you stay long enough, you can feel the difference. There's something profoundly powerful about telling your nervous system, you are allowed to fire, but I'm not leaving. That is self-trust. That is inner leadership. That is the birth of the one who stayed. Because here's what most people don't realize. Running creates repetition. Staying creates resolution. When we flee discomfort, we guarantee its return. When we remain present with discomfort, we metabolize it. That does not mean the feeling disappears instantly. It means you no longer are afraid of the feeling, and that changes everything. The one who stayed is not someone who never feels fear. It's someone who feels fear and remains conscious. It's someone who feels activation and does not weaponize it. It's the someone who feels intensity and chooses steadiness. Staying is not dramatic. It is quiet strength. It is choosing breath over reaction. It is choosing curiosity over certainty. And it is choosing presence over performance. And perhaps most importantly, it is choosing not to abandon yourself when things get uncomfortable. So today I invite you into a simple practice. The next time you feel the urge to run, internally or externally, pause. Place a hand on your chest, take one slow breath, and ask yourself, What am I actually feeling beneath this? Not the story, not the blame, not the defense, the feeling. Then stay, just a little longer than you normally would. You may be surprised what reveals itself. Because when the thing we're running from is not danger, it is depth. And depth is where your power lies. This is episode 1 of The One Who Stays. And today we begin not by chasing growth, but by remaining.